And speaking of public service, I'd like to welcome one true public service observation of this great ritual, new tradition in our city of good abode. U.S. Representative Steve Cohen is no stranger to the music scene. Matter of fact, he's a musicophile. I guess you could say he's a lover and enthusiast of music. And he shared with us his high esteem for Jimmie Lunceford and his legacy. And also what could be done to help make sure his memory live on for time to the end of time. Not just for time, but for the end of time. Without further ado, U.S. Representative Steve Cohen, a true public servant of the people, on Mr. Lunceford's great legacy. On We All Be News and Radio. How you doing, sir? Welcome to We All Be News and Radio. We just want to ask you some certain things. We know the Jimmie Lunceford Jamboree Festival Symposium coming up at Manassas High School. And we want to know why should we remember people like Jimmie Lunceford?
Well, Jimmie Lunceford was one of the greats in American music and a Memphian, of course, and his memory should be an inspiration to young people to know that they can reach for the stars, that they can do whatever they desire, and that music is a great art form that can take people a long way and both be a profession where you enjoy your life and also be successful. So I think it's important that we remember people like Jimmie Lunceford.
Why do you what happened that a guy that could be so well known during his lifetime, so famous during his lifetime, be forgotten about by so many people? I mean, what do you think happened in that instance?
Well, I don't know. You know, sometimes musical styles change, but a lot of musicians are remembered far after their time. I know that when Julian Bond came to Memphis, a friend of mine, the first time I met Julian, we went out to Graceland to visit Elvis Presley's Graceland, and then we came back and we went to Elmwood Cemetery, and we visited several graves there, but among the graves that Julian wanted to see and we saw was that of Jimmie Lunceford. So there are people that remember and know of his great musical talent, but then others, just because the torch hadn't been kept lit, and generations haven't been taught, they don't necessarily get that opportunity. But when Wynton Marsalis was in town, and I was with him with Rebecca Edwards' series, Wynton Marsalis told me how much he loved Jimmie Lunceford. So the musicians, I think, know him. It's just a lot of today's newer generation don't.
I know Jimmie Lunceford started out as a teacher at Manassas High School, and I think it was important because he helped start a music education foundation that helped, I guess, put Memphis on the map as far as, like, you look at Manassas High School, how many famous musicians like the late, great Isaac Hayes and so many others came out that school and out that tradition. So what could be done for the city of Memphis? What do you think could be some steps for the city of Memphis to take to make sure that his memory lasts for generations?
Well, I think what you're doing in getting this Jimmie Lunceford Festival started is a major thing, and it needs to happen, and people need to hear about it and hear his music. I hope that Marsalis said he'd be interested in doing a Jimmie Lunceford concert, and it's possible that could happen, and that's something I'd like to see happen. I wrote him about it after he was here, and maybe he'd come back and do a Jimmie Lunceford concert as part of Rebecca Edwards' concert series. I think that'd be a great way to get it moving.
And also, I know, like, a lot of the old-timers who are passing away, one thing they want to see done is a brass note for Jimmie Lunceford on Beale Street. And I know a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of controversy surrounding brass notes, I guess, among the musician class in Memphis. You look at some people that haven't been around long. I won't name any names, but they got brass notes already. But you look at a guy like Jimmie Lunceford, like I named quite a few others like Johnny Ace and people like that. They have not been recognized for their great contributions to the Memphis music sound. So is there any way for people to say, you know, well, we want to see a brass note for Jimmie Lunceford or a street or whatever? What is the process of getting something named after Jimmie Lunceford?
Well, I think a brass note on Beale Street would be a good idea, and I think that I don't know exactly the procedure. I'm sure the Beale Street organization is involved, and I imagine they'd be interested, and I certainly would try to help in that effort.
Yeah, I know one thing too. You look at the city of Memphis, we were renowned for our music heritage, but you look at a lot of schools, for example, a lot of these great musicians came out of. They no longer have an arts program or a music education program. if you are a concerned citizen, so you know that arts education can help, cut down on delinquency, juvenile delinquency, a high school dropout rate. So what can be done?
I'm very much in favor of arts, music, education. It's important, and it's an important learning tool, and it's important for children to be exposed to this particular culture, particularly in Memphis. And I've always strived to help with that, and have in Washington, and will continue to do so.